I get that question a lot. It is not so easy.
We contacted several realtors, and they all told us that they couldn't sell the house.
Desperate, the couple turned to their faith.
I contacted a local priest, and I told him we wanted to do a house blessing. He said his prayers, and he had his, his robe on. And he went through each room, and he says, "You're all set." And I said, "Well, there's one more room." I said, "That's the attic." He said, "No problem." He takes 3 steps up, and he stops dead in his track. I never forget that look on his face. It was like he was confronted by something very hostile. He backed down. He never took his eyes off the top of the stairwell. And he says, "You know what?" He says, "Jay, I'm just going to bless the stairwell and should be all set." He never turned around. As he backed down the stairs, he said, "Ignore it. It's going to go away." It didn't go away. It got more vicious.
Coming up, the twins speak and confirm their parents' worst fear.
I've never seen anything like that before.
And later, a toddler has tantrums with teeth.
It would leave marks and sometimes break the skin.
As the evil entity gets closer and closer to their twins, Jay and Elka must try harder and harder to protect their girls.
I was at the point where I couldn't take it anymore. I wanted to find out more what was going on. I decided I needed to get some paranormal help.
Jay had called me sometime in the spring of 2006 about some paranormal activity at his house. Definitely a demon. We just don't know exactly what it is. Whenever there's children in the house, it's always a concern. Whenever you have a demon in the house, they will go after the weak link, and that's usually the children. I noticed right away that there was a problem with the children, and that's usually the first sign.
When the girls were able to start speaking, they kept talking about a man. They always referred to his eyes, his nose, and his teeth. And they kept saying on how it was terrifying. They would be playing, and they'd be looking, and they'd start pointing, and it was very chilling because they both would do it at the same time, saying, "The man's here."
It came out so fast that we actually had to slow down. Guys, what is it? And so we started trying.
I said, "Just don't draw a picture of a man." I said, "Let's see if we can trick them." Elka drew a picture of like Mickey Mouse, and she drew up another picture of like a bear, and then she drew another picture of what she thought the man looked like. She drew a round head, 2 eye sockets, like a nose socket, and like jagged teeth.
With children, we hear this quite often, where they'll see something with shark teeth or a wolf's teeth, something along those lines. And what they're actually seeing is the demon. The demon's goal seemingly is to break down the family. They usually attack the children first, and that will just take down the rest of the family just by that alone.
We went out to a local toy company and picked up a swing set. And we brought it back home, and Elka was really excited. She wanted me to build it that night. We got the kids all tucked in bed. And as I started building it, you heard through the baby monitor someone come in the room with like heavy boots, something really heavy. It sounded almost like it was like 200-300 pounds. And then you could hear our daughter Mackenzie start crying. Then you heard a slap. And then you heard screaming. going into the bedroom, there was no one there. Courtney was waking up, and we had a hard time waking up Mackenzie. It was like she was in a deep, deep sleep. She didn't even know what was going on. It was like almost she was in a trance. And at that point, I got so mad at this entity in the house, and I yelled out, "Leave now, or I will take wrath on you." And somebody leaned over and said,
"By whose authority do you have to make me leave?"
I took that as a threat, as a challenge at that point.
It's a really bad case, deemed severe. We could tell just by what's going on with the family.
I'm getting a little bit more scared when my kids are involved.
Most of the cases that I've been involved in over the years where there's multiple children involved, usually one of the children is targeted. This case is very typical. Mackenzie is being targeted somewhat, but Courtney is the one that's being the main target.
Courtney has had imaginary friends. I get afraid of because most children who have imaginary friends actually don't hurt people around them. Courtney had one friend out. She called it Casey.
When there's children involved and we hear of an imaginary friend involved, we know that that's a problem because it always starts out nice where the child's playing with the friend, and at some point it turns ugly and they'll start to be attacked by what's in the home.
One day, Courtney knocked over a large lamp that was like 55 pounds. I've never seen anything like that before.
What happened here? What did you do?
And it was the most hideous giggle I ever heard. Here's a girl I would jump in front of a bus for and take a bullet for. And I looked at my own daughter and says, "You're not my daughter, are you?"
Leave. I command you to leave my family alone. Leave us alone.
And then a few minutes later, Courtney calmed down and said, "Papa, I got goosebumps now." And I said, "That was not my daughter a few minutes ago." I said, "That was totally something different."
We believe there is a vortex. They've seen multiple demons. It's a doorway to the spirit world.
Can you sing the song from Mommy that the lady sings to you?
We had one medium who was really wonderful with children, and what the medium explained to me is they have actually a lady coming in their room at night, and she sings some lullabies, and she's actually a protector of the children. It is a human spirit. She's real, and actually her husband killed her child in that room and burned it in the fireplace.
Whenever you have a case like this, you can't trust anything. Even if your great-grandmother came back to visit you from the dead, you can't trust it because it's could be a demon trying to fool you.
There was a lot of warning signs that if we paid attention, we probably could have avoided what we're going through now. I'm hoping for a happy ending. I'm hoping that we can get out of the house very soon, unscathed.
Whatever I had to do, I would do to protect them. I would burn the house down. If this is what I have to do, both of us definitely would do whatever we have to do to protect our children.